Hi everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Recently I built this AFK fish farm that you can use in 1.13 and a few people have said that it's a little bit ugly because you can see the note block. They don't like being able to see the note block, so I've decided to do something about it and I've made a new fish farm and it looks like this. So this is the new design. That's the old design. Ugly note block. That's the new design. You can't see the note block. You can see the note block when you're fishing because you have to. You have to cast against it. But when you're not using it, you can't see the note block. Pretty cool. It also takes advantage of the new feature in 1.13 that allows us to waterlog trapdoors. So that trapdoor there is actually in the same block as the water. And it's a waterlog block. It just opens and closes. Which means that the fish farm itself is only 3 blocks deep, whereas the old fish farm was a massive 4 blocks deep. I mean, what's that, 25% saving? Look at that. If you're ever in need of a fish farm when you've only got 3 blocks to dig into your wall, then this is the one for you. So I'll show you how it works. You walk up here and stand on the slab. You aim at the trapdoor, then you cast, and you keep casting, and you keep casting. And you can go AFK. It's brilliant. You can't use the F11 trick anymore, which is a shame, but just remap your keys to a key on the keyboard, stick something on your keyboard, and off you go. It's brilliant. And the better rod you have, the better loot you're going to get. Now, if you want to learn all about loot and what you can catch and everything else, then check out the other fish farm videos. I'm not going to go through them all again here because I've already done it on the previous video. But what I will do is show you how to build this. Now, before we start, this won't work on Bedrock or console or Windows 10. I don't think you can auto cast on Windows 10 or on console, so this fish farm won't work. Although in this one I thought this one wouldn't work because the hitbox of the string on console is a little bit lower and you couldn't see the trap door, whereas here you can see the trap door underneath. On Windows 10 you can't. But even this design where you're casting below the hitbox of the string, it still doesn't work because you can't auto cast. If you can auto cast and I don't know how to do it, then brilliant, let me know in the comments and I'll share it with everybody, and we've got a fish farm that works in console. But at the moment I don't believe this works in console. And like the other fish farm over there, it uses a repeater. Now, if you're on your own PC, you might not need that repeater. You might just be able to get away with a bit of redstone going straight into the block. But if you do need a repeater, then just stick the repeater in and then you can change the tick until it works. On here, on my test world, no dust and a repeater on 1 tick doesn't work. To do with the lag. Whereas 2 ticks doesn't work. 3's a charm. There you go. 3 ticks works. So you should be able to change the tick on the repeater so it works on any server. If you've got a server that's got a massive amount of lag, then I think you might be out of luck. But it should work. Cool. And as with the other fish farms, or with any fish farm, build it so the water block that you're fishing into has got direct access to the sky and direct access to rainfall. And I explain why in the other video, so if you want to know exactly why, go and see the other video. But for best results, you need to fish with a lure 3 rod, a luck of the sea 3 rod. You need to have direct sky access above your block, and really you need it to be rained on. When it's raining on there, you get much more frequent catches. So there you go. So now I'll show you how to build it. Now, to build this thing, you're going to need a stack of your block of choice. We're going to be using quartz block, but you really need to be building a block that's got a stair and a slab variant. As I say, we're going to be using quartz. You're going to need a bit of glowstone if you want some lighting. you're going to need a couple of chests, a couple of hoppers, 2 tripwire hooks and a piece of string. You're also going to need a bucket of water, an iron trapdoor. It has to be an iron trapdoor. You're also going to need a pressure plate. Now this can be any type of pressure plate. It's just there to hold the water back. So if you're using wood, you can use a wooden pressure plate. If you're using stone, you can use a stone pressure plate. You're going to need a note block. Make sure that's a note block and not a jukebox. You're going to need 1 redstone repeater, a redstone torch, a piece of dust. And if you want to decorate it up at the end, you're going to need a sign and an item frame. So now that you've got all your gear, you need to find a place to build it. And you're going to need an area that is 3 deep by 6 blocks wide. And then you want to take out your 2 chests. And you want to put the 2 chests on the left-hand edge of the area you're going to be building it on. Then you want to go behind the back. You want to crouch. And you want to put 1 hopper leading into the chest and 1 hopper leading into that hopper. Make sure that the nozzles are pointing the right way. So that one's got to point into that one's got to point into the chest. Otherwise, nothing is going to happen. That's going to be where your water's going to go. Now we need to put some blocks above the chest, but we still want to be able to access the chest, and we want it to look like it's a solid block. Now we can't use a solid block. If we use a solid block, as you all know, you can't access your chest with a solid block over it. So what we need to do is grab a stair, and we need to go around the back, and we need to sort of stand here looking over that way, over the top of the hoppers, crouch and put a stair there, that way, on your chest. So you've got the back of the stair here, and then go around the back again, crouch again and stick another stair just there like that. And now when you look at it from the front, it looks like we've got 2 solid blocks. Now we go back around the front again. We need to put a solid block just there, and then we need to put a solid block on top of the hopper, crouch and put a solid block on top of the hopper. And then while we're stood at the front looking towards the back, we need to put down our trapdoor. So put down the trapdoor directly on top of the hopper. Then we need to stick another solid block on the side of that hopper like that, and then we can just stick down a couple of blocks there to sort the rest of the front out. Now we need to jump up on top, and we need to put down a temporary block there and then a block next to it, then pop that one out. So we've got like a V shape, and then temporary block there, another block there, and then pop that out. So now we've got something that looks like that. While we're around the back, you can stick on your note block. So we need to grab your note block and put it on the back of the trap door. So it's just there like that. Okay, and unless you want to hear this while you're casting, then stick a solid block over the top of it, and then you won't be able to hear anything. And then just surround that with solid blocks. Now you want to stick another block just there like that, one next to it, and then coming off this block, that one there, you need to put a redstone torch like that. And then directly underneath it, you need to stick down a bit of redstone dust. And then just there, facing into that block, which is powering your trapdoor, you need to put a repeater. Now at the moment, it doesn't matter what tick you put it on, because we don't know what tick you're going to need. So you may as well leave that on 1 tick for the time being. So now you should have something that looks like that. Now take out your tripwire hooks, and you need to put 1 tripwire hook just there, and then 1 tripwire hook just there, and then you want to stick a piece of string in between them. So just look at one of the hooks and put the string on one of the hooks, and they'll join together. And now you can see the hitbox just up there. And now you want to take out a pressure plate. It doesn't really matter what type of pressure plate you use. Over there I've used stone. This one is an iron pressure plate. You can use a gold one if you want to, or you can use any one of the new wooden ones. So if you're building this out of wood and you want it to look like nice at the front with another piece of wood on it, maybe a different coloured piece of wood, then you can use a different coloured pressure plate there. But just remember that that trapdoor has to be iron. You can't use a wooden trapdoor there because you can't cast against it, but you can use any pressure plate you like, but you can only use an iron trapdoor. Then you need to take out your water and just look at your trapdoor and left click on it, and then you'll put down your water like that. Now you might notice that your water is a little bit crooked, looks a little bit crooked, which is no biggie. All you need to do is grab yourself a solid block, put your solid block there, and that'll level up your water. Nothing to worry about. Actually, you can stick another couple of blocks on the end anyway, and now you've got that. So now we've done that, we can start sticking the skin around the outside of it. So just grab your block of choice again. You want to stick a couple of blocks over the top of these stairs that are above your chests. Some blocks above there. If you want a bit of lighting in here, and I always do like using a bit of lighting, you can stick it just there, so it's out of the way, and then stick a couple of solid blocks around it, remembering not to put solid blocks directly above your water. You can then put a couple of solid blocks above your tripwire hooks, like that. Now you want to take out your slabs. You want to put a slab directly in front there, which is the slab you stand on. And then you need to put a slab just there like that. And then you can stick a solid block over the top of it. And then we can just fill in around the sides. Now if you want to decorate it up a little bit like I've done over there, just grab yourself a sign. Let's grab this sign over here. So we'll grab that sign, stick a bit of a sign up there, and also let's grab the fishing rod. And that, put that there, stick your fishing rod on it, and voila. Now all we need to do is test it. So stand on your slab. Look at your trapdoor, just about where the top of the water is, you know, just below the top of the trapdoor where the top of the water is, and then cast. Now you might get that, which means that you need to change the ticks on your repeater. Actually, we'll change it to 2, even though I know 3 works here. So we've changed it to 2, we're looking again, top of the water, still not working. Change it again to 3. Three's a charm. Now it might be that 3 works for you on a server, but it doesn't work for somebody else. You're just going to have to either let the other people know they need to change the ticks or stop other people from using your fish farm. It's entirely up to you. Name tag. Brilliant. So like I said earlier on, to get the best results, you need to get a Lure 3 Luck of the Sea 3 rod. And if you don't have one of those to start with, then don't worry. Get yourself a basic bog standard rod and just start fishing. Eventually, you'll catch some half decent rods, and you can just combine them on an anvil, and eventually you will get a Mending Luck of the Sea 3 Lure 3 fishing rod, and you can AFK forever. Also, make sure you've got direct access to the sky, and make sure you've got, if you can, direct access to rainfall. So if you have to put a block above here, then make sure it's a glass block. But if you can get away with not putting a block above here blocking sky, and it rains, then you'll get the best results. So that's how you build the AFK fish farm that only works in 1.13 because of the waterlogging of the trapdoor. This won't work in 1.12. It will only work in 1.13, and it won't work in Bedrock. I did mention this. Hopefully you haven't built this in Bedrock. I've also put a mention of this in the description as well, so hopefully you've not wasted your time doing that. However, if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave it a like, and if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future tutorials. This is Frilioth, by my new fish farm, and I'm out of here.